Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Irwin number 1869ZR. This is a 24 millimeter diameter, 3 millimeter pitch, bottom style tap. Admittedly, we don't sell a lot of metric taps that are this epically large, but here it is. 24 millimeter. This is a bottoming tap, and that means the way that the end of the tap is treated, it's blunt and flat, and there's only a couple of threads here that get it started. That's when you need to run your tapped hole all the way down as close as possible to the bottom of the piece. So you would use a bottoming tap for that. If you were going, there's other types of taps which we'll look at in a moment, but this would be a bottoming tap. If you are tapping through something, you would not use this tap at all. You would want to have a longer run of threads to get the work started, most certainly. Okay. Ideal for auto repair and machinery where metric threads are specified. Straight flutes are ideal to provide rapid chip removal for efficient threading. Okay, there's your straight flutes. Designed for hand threading work in a variety of materials. Produce a Class 2B thread. I don't see that they give us an overall length, but here it is. I suppose I should say it in metric, but it's about 4 15/16 overall length. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the couple of documents down below. First of all, there's a product brochure that's there. And what I like to do with that document is search for the part number in question, 1869ZR. That will take me to the table where I can find the large metric tap that I'm working on and the table by which all of the other sizes are listed there, and the different types of taps that are available as well, whether it be a plug style tap or a bottom style or a self-aligning tap. Now, the definition of those taps are up earlier in the product catalog itself, in fact on page 2, so you'll certainly want to review what all of them do. It's quite handy. A plug tap is, for me, the most common. If I will use a self-aligning tap if I'm tapping into something that's going to be thicker, because the amount of my bolt that will run through the piece, I need it to be as straight as possible because I don't want the screw to go in and then to be not exactly correct. And I don't tap a lot of holes, but when I do, I like to have them as accurate as possible. Bottom taps I've certainly used because I do need to run a thread as close to the exterior of something as possible, but the plug tap or the taper tap is going to be the most common of that material. A number of threads, 5 threads or so to get you started, and then you're off to the races. I like the longer run of the taps, of the threads to get you started, because it allows you to start that gradually. The downside is you don't want to put a lot of force as you're tapping it. With the plug tap, you kind of can't put a lot of force because you don't have much of the tap in the piece, but you do need to start that straight. Okay, so that document is very handy to not only show you what's available, but to define the terms by which they're used. There's also a guide, a link below this video called Reference Guide. That is handy if you need to know the size of a drill bit for a particular tap, so that applies to this application. Then on the last page, they also get into the drilling speed of material, what RPM, it's actually SFM, is how it's surface feet per minute. There's a formula that's there for you to derive the speed at which you are drilling. And if you need to dive into the world of the science of how quickly you're drilling, what you're drilling into, and what you're using as a drill, what it's made of, that's an entire science all on its own. I would think if you're doing very general repair, drill a hole, make it happen. I have found, however, that there are certain taps that are better for certain base materials. I don't believe Irwin gets too technical with that material, but if I'm tapping brass, I'm going to use a tap specifically for that material. I have found exceptional results. But if you have a need, if you have a need to be more sophisticated, like you are servicing safes and vaults, you have every need to be as sophisticated as possible. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Irwin products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the Irwin 1869ZR 24mm tap or any other Irwin product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.